Omokri writes open letter to Atiku, PDP, and PDP over Tinubu'S CSU academic records. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. Please subscribe to our channel. To get notified when we post hot juicy news updates, please click on the notification bell. Former presidential aide Omokri has written an open letter to the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and his 2023 presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, over the ongoing controversy about President Bola Tinubu's Chicago State University CSU academic records. Recall that Atiku is challenging Tinubu's presidential election victory in the February 25th poll conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). Certificate forgery, age discrepancy, and electoral malpractice and among petitions filed by Atiku and other presidential candidates challenging the All Progressive Congress APC candidate Tinubu. Reacting, however, to the lingering argument ahead of a Supreme Court judgment where Atiku and P2B are hopeful of defeating Tinubu, Omokri took to his X handle on Friday to address the People's Democratic Party, his supposed party. I warned Atiku about P2B. Nigerians report that Omokri is known as a staunch supporter of Atiku before and during the 2023 general elections. However, Omokri has been seen recently defending President Tinubu against his favorite candidate in the just concluded election. In his open letter to the People's Democratic Party on Friday morning, Omokri recalled that he warned Atiku about P2B ahead of the 2023 general election. Recall that Obi was a member of the People's Democratic Party but withdrew his membership after the fallout from the party's primary election and joined the Labour Party. According to Omokri, he told Atiku about the need to convince Obi not to run for the presidency, noting that doing so will steal a chunk of the party's vote. If not for desperation, why will Atiku and the PDP go to the Supreme Court? Speaking on the issue of Tinubu's academic records being challenged by Atiku, Omokri berated the move, saying it was an act of desperation. He wondered why a party that has produced the likes of Obasanjo, later Maro Musa Yar'Adua, and Goodluck Jonathan will resort to such moves after losing woefully in the presidential election. What do we now want to prove at the Supreme Court? Even in the unlikely event we are allowed to present new evidence that Bola Tinubu forged a diploma for degree that he legitimately earned. If not for desperation, why would the great People's Democratic Party that produced President Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, and Jonathan even consider clutching at such weak straws? It is like saying the man forged a check for an account in his name, Omokri said. Omokri's open letter to the People's Democratic Party below read thus. It has been said that a person's worst enemy is the individual who faces their weaknesses and vulnerabilities. The 2023 elections is over. P2B defeated us, not Bola Tinubu. By contesting in an election he knew he could not win, P2B stole away votes that would naturally have come to the People's Democratic Party. The Southeast has always voted PDP since 1999. Only 2023 was an exception. That is why we lost. As a true friend of the People's Democratic Party, I told P2B this before the election. I also said the same thing to Waziri Atiku Abubakar. I said if we did not find a way to convince P2B not to run, then we would have to make him head-on because there was not enough space for both him and Waziri Atiku on the plinth of victory. But that is now history. The fact of the matter is that the current trajectory of our party is very and eerily similar to the election denial that prevailed in the Republican Party after the 2020 election. Pinning all our hopes on a smoking gun from Chicago State University that failed to manifest shows that we have reached the end of our ropes. Let us face the truth. Arise Television and other irresponsible media got our hopes up unnecessarily. Chicago State University never denied Bola Tinubu. That was a big fat lie from Rufai Oseni, a corrupt journalist sponsored by P2B, a rival of Mr. Tinubu. A meticulous reading of Mr. Westberg's disposition shows that he affirmed Mr. Tinubu 3 times as a bona fide graduate, the ones issued with a diploma certificate. Under normal circumstances, it will be apparent to us that there is no case here. Chicago State University, through its registrar, Mr. Caleb Westberg, has testified under oath that Bola Tinubu, the male now president of Nigeria, was admitted, attended, and graduated from their institution. They never denied his credentials. What they said, both in the affidavit and the disposition that followed, is that they could not attest to the diploma tendered by Bola Tinubu to the Independent National Electoral Commission, not because Bola Tinubu did not graduate from the university, but because a third-party vendor issued it, and certificates are more of a Nigerian thing. In case members of my party did not know, in November of 2022, this same Mr. Mike Enahoro Eba attempted to disqualify Mr. Tinubu on exactly these same grounds, and an FCT magistrate court struck out his case without being assigned. And we think the Supreme Court will give credence to what a magistrate court dismissed. What do we now want to prove at the Supreme Court? Even in the likely event we are allowed to present new evidence that Bola Tinubu forged a diploma for a degree that he legitimately earned, if not for desperation, why would the great PDP that produced Presidents Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, and Jonathan even consider clutching at such weak straws? It's like saying a man forged a check for an account in his name. Bola Tinubu's political foes have clutched at a straw before in 1999 and 2003 and failed. And that is what we now want to hold on to in 2023, 20 years after it failed. The people behind this desperation are almost all agents of P2B. They do not love Waziri Atiku Abubakar or the People Democratic Party. There's a strategy of using Waziri to fight Asiwaju, hoping they cancel each other and that a rerun is ordered, which P2B will win. They fail to consider that as of today, that is yesterday is impossible. Waziri Atiku Abubakar would have been a better president than Bola Tinubu, but we are outsmarted by Bola Tinubu. Our redemption will not come from Chicago, it will come from facing reality and ensuring we do not have a divided house in 2027. I have been more loyal to the People Democratic Party than those trying to make something out of nothing. And if I cannot tell my party the truth, then to borrow the words of Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians 15:19, I am of all men most miserable. Now, this is what I'm going to say to Reno. Reno is not serious. Writing an open letter to, to the PDP, first of all. Waiting, what happens to, if you are truly a member of PDP and you know that they're going to listen to you, what happened to reaching out to them? What happened to keeping your secrets in the house? And you coming out to say that Waziri is using, P2B is using Atiku to fight Tinubu. Can you just listen to yourself? And you're accusing Rufai Yoseni of being a tool of P2B. Can you listen to yourself? Anyway, I've said it, Reno's stance is inconsequential. Reno, they follow the direction of the wind. The wind say the wind not get direction. If you come from north, if you come from south, if you come from east or west, that is what Nero does. Why? Because now waiting you go eat, now you define for social media. Alright, on this note, you have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come here next time. Enjoy.